Hey, Lily, what's going on?
Hey, Ori, I just finished my community service. Hashtag loving UE. Hashtag impact for life.
Oh, hashtag nice. I just finished my study abroad application. Hashtag Harlexton. Hashtag international impact.
Really? My roommate, hashtag purple aces for life. Hashtag just got back from their last semester. Hashtag time of his life. Hashtag check out this video.
Hashtag UE's British camp.
Hashtag double as Hogwarts. Hashtag same cost as the US.
Hashtag big time Downton Abbey fans. Hashtag Eiffel Tower. Hashtag English chicks are cool. Hashtag study abroad. Ah!
Hashtag amazing.
Hashtag I know.
Oh, what about hashtag other countries?
Oh, you mean hashtag study abroad opportunities? Hashtag Institute for Global Enterprise? Hashtag global opportunities?
Hashtag ranked 7th in the US for study abroad. Hashtag only private school in the top 10.
Hashtag nearly half of UE students study abroad.
Hashtag I'm in Guatemala and you could be too.
Hashtag UE in Rome. Hashtag life experience.
Hashtag great experiences.
Hashtag true. But did you know you can have a great experience on campus too?
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh, hashtag 150 student organizations, hashtag over 80 majors to choose from, like hashtag biology, hashtag archaeology, hashtag theater.
Oh, and don't forget about the professors. Hashtag custom learning experiences. Hashtag working with teams. Hashtag 13 students per professor. Hashtag personal impact.
Hashtag accountable impact.
Hashtag 96% receive financial aid.
Hashtag 92% in grad school or employed in 6 months.
Check out the experiences. Hashtag internships. Hashtag research projects. Hashtag competitions. Hashtag graduate in 4 years with study abroad. Hashtag top grad school admission. Hashtag UE Connect referral network.
Hashtag
Connected impact. Not to mention hashtag Division I athletics, hashtag Missouri Valley Conference.
Hashtag go aces. Apply to become part of the UE family. Hashtag 30,000 alumni. Hashtag bleed purple.
Got it. Hashtag friends on campus and abroad.
Hashtag transformational impact.
Hashtag graduate in 4 years.
Hashtag global education.
Hashtag make a difference in the community.
Hashtag discover impact certificate.
Hashtag leadership training.
Hashtag dream job.
Hashtag personal results.
Hashtag just come to UE.